It's 8:34 right now, and former President Donald Trump's appearance at the National Association of Black Journalists convention has a lot of people talking this morning. The Republican presidential candidate made several false claims about Vice President Kamala Harris during his controversial appearance. Listen.
I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth, a leader who does not respond with hostility and anger when confronted with the facts. We deserve a leader who understands that our differences do not divide us.
So the vice president right there, she was invited to the conference but could not attend due to scheduling conflicts. Joining us this morning to discuss the fallout from Donald Trump's appearance is former presidential advisor Susan Johnson-Cook. So good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How are we doing? So presidential candidates, they're usually invited to these conventions during an election year, right? So the invitation was given to both of them.
Yes.
The question now, looking back on it, was should the former president have been invited given some of his past remarks? So what's your take looking at it?
Well, first of all, he's racist and he's insulting continually. The media really created a monster. He's been covered so often from like the last 10 years, running for office, in office. And so the media has to be objective. I think all candidates should be invited, but his history is just horrible. And yesterday he made a statement for himself. He showed how ignorant he is, and he was insulting in the presence of black journalists.
Yeah, but one Republican senator said that people are reacting. He said that the former president's comments were basically satire. What do you think of that?
How dare someone tell someone what their racial ethnicity is? How dare someone even comment on who a person is or is not? The only one he can comment on is himself, and he's not identifying with his felonies and convictions. So he didn't overstate anything. He was Donald Trump, and Donald Trump showed his racism, and he insulted the journalists in their presence.
When you listen to the full half hour of his comments, right, he was supposed to be on the stage for an hour, ended up being about a half an hour. He was blaming it on technical difficulties. He seems to be, and he says he is, courting the black vote. He says nobody has done more for black Americans than him since Abraham Lincoln. Did he do himself any favors yesterday by showing up?
No one did more for canceling out his chances with black voters than he did yesterday. He was horrible. He didn't do himself a favor whatsoever. In fact, his ignorance was even magnified with his presence there yesterday.
I mean, from the time he sat down, he was very combative. We're going to listen to one of these exchanges right now.
Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country. I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln.
Your thoughts?
Whenever anyone has to say black that many times, it means he's uncomfortable with it, because he is not comfortable with black people. And to be in the presence of black people and to take on a black journalist and do it in that way was horrible. So I think the media, you know, one of the things media should do is boycott him for a few years and a few days, and he will probably change his whole attitude. But he was horrible, and he continues to be, and we continue to give him press. And so it just kind of, makes the fodder even stronger.
Isn't it a bit of a double-edged sword, because you have to be able to give him press? He's the Republican nominee for president, and to be fair and balanced as journalists, you have to give attention to both sides.
Certainly. NABJ shouldn't just cover black journalists, black candidates. So they had to make a decision, but it's even caused division within their ranks, because they were like, why do we invite someone who slaps us in our face, who talks about us in our face? So it's interesting, because Kamala said the other day, say it to my face. Well, he said it to the journalist's face yesterday, and you could hear by the reaction of the crowd that they were disgraced by his presence.
Well, following that appearance, Vice President Harris did speak at an event in Houston.
Yes.
She addressed the fact that she heard what he said.
Yes.
But she didn't actually talk about how she felt about it specifically, about him saying that he didn't know she was black. But how would you advise her in going forward then in the wake of this?
Well, she took the high road, as Michelle Obama said, as
Yes.
he took the low road. And I think she did it with dignity and class. You know, her absence also was saying he wouldn't debate me. He already refused to debate me, so why be in the presence of him and be confrontational? So her staff probably made a very good decision, even if it was a scheduling conflict. But I think she handled it with dignity, and she's going to go forward. And she's even said, I'm looking forward. I'm not even going to go on the past laurels. I'm not going to look at things that have happened in the past. And she will have an opportunity to confront Donald Trump if he accepts her debate. And she's going to continue to be the candidate who says, this is who I am. I'm not going to react to who he is.
Yeah, he had a rally last night in Pennsylvania where he said he would debate her. Just wasn't sure if it was going to be that ABC debate or the debate that he wants to happen on Fox News.
Right.
Looking ahead, though, real quick, and then we have to go, vice presidential pick for Harris.
Well, I know she'll make the right decision. I think the front runner certainly is Senator Kelly in Arizona. I think the balance is important, but she wants a winning ticket. And the winning ticket is going to have to be who the American population, and they're polling, you know, every day, and they're being vetted. And she's going to also kind of see the chemistry that works between them and who can deliver. Just as she was vetted amongst about 7 other candidates last year, 4 years ago. So I think she's going to make the right choice. I have real confidence in her. She's been senator, she's been prosecutor, senator, and vice president for 3.5 years. So she knows what the office takes, and I think she's going to make the right decision. And there's a whole lot of, it's not just a moment, it's a movement behind her. I mean, every day there's a call, there are rallies, there are people marching and saying we're with her. So we're going to see, may the best man or woman win.
We shall see.
Yes.
Suzanne Johnson-Cook, thanks again for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good to have you here in person, too.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good to be here.